So basically, when you are VNI rating, there are several difficulties of anomalies that we will read into, and in newt we are interested in ports, hubs, havens, and sanctums, also rally points. So when you are VNI rating or VNA rating, which is Vexor standard or Vexor Navy issue, you should be in nullsec going for rally points, ports, hubs, havens, sanctums. Those are also distinguished by the difficulty. They can be hidden, forsaken, or forlorn. Hidden is the easiest, forsaken is middle, forlorn is the hardest. We are in Catch region, which has Sancha Reds, and in Impasse region, which has Angel Reds. Sancha Reds are EM and thermal damage, and Angel Reds are explosive and kinetic damage. So when you're fitting your Vexor, you should have some rigs for those sort of protections, and you should also check that you have the responsible drones that deal the damage. For Sanchas you need heavy EM drones, which are Predators, and for Angels you need Berserkers. The best ones are the faction ones because they give the most damage input. Also, when you're going for the sites, there will be several types of reds that you will encounter. With Angels, it is from frigates, destroyers, cruisers to battle cruisers and battleships. They are called Gist, Gisti, Gistum, and some other stuff. But what you need to be aware that there will be also commanders and elite reds, which will be called Domination and Arch for Angels, and True and Loyal for Sanchas. Those are the big targets that you want to kill us first. So basically what you want to do first is you never warp to 0 to the site when you are raiding. Never, because they will track you and they will kill you on the spot. The basics of VNI or Vexor rating are that you are speed tanked first, then shield tanked. That's why our fits have the Afterburner, which is oversized, and that way you can orbit the site. So the best way that I found is to warp to 70 to site, find an object that is in the middle, for example a rock or a red, or for example some wreck of the red, and then you can basically set orbit 50 or orbit 40. You put on the Afterburner and you release the drones, set targets, and get some killings. When you're selecting targets, you want to select frigates first, then you want to destroy the destroyers, cruisers, battle cruisers, and battleships. You select the small targets first because the frigates and destroyers can scram you, and then basically when you're scrammed you're dead. When you're finished with those small targets, you will go for the battleships, and the easy solution is to check which battleship has the largest bounty on its head and go for that one. There are several types of those battleships. For Angels you have the Seraphims, Nephilims, and Malachims drones, and some Cherubims, I guess. Basically they're just battleships with more damage, but you will go for those which are the most valued on bounty. Also, when you're VNI rating and you're orbiting, you should be kept stable. You should never turn off your Afterburner, because when you do, you're dead. Also, the main thing is to be wary of your surroundings, watch local. If there are many people on local, just like there are here in this sector, you should, which is easy to do, you should click the local and press Ctrl A to select all the characters. That way you see which characters are already in the system, and any new character that will jump into the system or whatever a neut, you will see him as not selected there. If you see a neut in this local, you immediately try to pull out your drones or warp off to the safe spot immediately, because when they jump in, they will go for the sites. First they will go for the asteroids, then they will go for the sites. And basically you can abandon your drones, because I think vexors are more expensive than the drones. You can always reconnect them later when the neut is gone. Second thing that you want to set is set your intel into a separate window. For us it is intel impasse, and you will want to set it so that you can see if there are any reported news in the nearby area. And with that, you should be able to basically cover all the intel you can get on the news. There are also two types of sites. Basically, there are rock sites or there are gas sites. When there is a rock site, you orbit the rock at a 50-kilometer range. When there is nothing to orbit, it is easy to pick a fast frigate with some container in it, warp to 0, drop the container, warp back, get into Vexor, and then orbit the container at 50. So also your Vexors should be, for easier solution, equipped with mobile tractor unit, which will scoop up all the wrecks and all the cargo from the field and bring all the wrecks to one spot where the mobile tractor unit is. It costs about 8 to 10 million ISK per unit. It has 100 meters cubic volume, so you can fit it easily into an frigate or whatever. And basically what you do is that you right click it on the spot when you're nearing finish, and then you jettison it. It will automatically track all the wrecks and scoop them to the cargo. When it does, you can empty the cargo of the mobile tractor unit, and then you can pick it back to your cargo hold. Also, when you're rating, you will be getting some rewards from the rats themselves in the form of bounty, then in the form of their cargo, which you loot, and also in the form of wrecks that you can salvage. For salvaging, I personally use, you can basically fit any destroyer with salvagers, and you can go and scoop up the loot from them. So you basically salvage that way. Basically from a side you can get 15 million, from the loot 5 million, and from the salvage stuff you can get another 5 million ISK. So you can easily get about 30 million ISK for example, rally points and ports, and much more for the hubs, havens, and sanctums. I never do, like in a Vexors or VNIs, the sanctums or forlorn sites, any kind of those, because I think that you can get easily killed there. Normally, which is recommended to do, are the Forsaken rally points in a standard Vexor, and Forsaken ports, hubs, havens in a Vexor Navy issue. You should be able to clear them. So select the battleship and select orbit at 50. Put on the Afterburner, release the drones, kill the targets.
Which object you want us to orbit?
The battleship, or you can keep at range 500 from me. So first you select the small targets to be destroyed, then the battleship. When we have wrecks, we can orbit the wrecks. So as you see, this first cruiser is Archgistem, so it's the elite class, and there is Gist Saint, which is also a bigger class of the enemy. Also, a good thing to set before you go is in the drones menu you set them to aggressive and focus fire, which I will show you here. They will fire automatically, and they will concentrate the fire on the one enemy. So here you select first the frigates, then the battleships. Also, it can occur to you that when you jump to a site and if you want to clear it, at the end there will be a dreadnought. If that happens, immediately walk away from it, because it will shred anything that's even a battleship. What you see here is the Archkist, the hijacker. That's the one that scrams you. So this spawn produces Seraphims and Cherubims battleships. Cherubims are more dangerous, you should clear them first. When you are in the third or fourth wave, it is good to launch the mobile tractor unit so that it can scoop the wrecks earlier, because it works quite slowly. Also, you bookmark the location for them, because this site will then disappear when it's done. What you also want to go for when you are a VNI rating is drone interfacing, which increases the drone damage and also mining yield, so that's a bonus. And then it's the category of heavy drone. Go for the drones, sharpshooting, drone navigation, the drones 5, which allows you to control 5 drones. So to this moment we have about 1.5 million ISK in the mobile tractor unit, and it's still scooping up, so we can wait till it scoops some more, and right now we can just go and salvage these wrecks. So basically what we did was we rated in 2 VNIs, we got about 15 million of bounties on those, because it was just a medium site, it was a Forsaken Rally Point, and from the looted wrecks and with the salvage wrecks we got another 5 million, so that's about 20 million ISK from single spawn point.